Hello and welcome back to another Marvel Champions live stream. D20 is number one. He was first. He was the first chatter. He barely beat me to it. I almost got in there first, but hello and welcome. We're starting our next evolution campaign right now. This is going to be the first time I've gone through it completely. Get good, Nelson. Yeah, you're right. You're right. This is going to be the first time I've gone through it completely before. Now, that's a little bit deceptive because I have played the first 4 scenarios. I just have not played Strife, who is number 5. And we're going to just start. We're going to be running through the campaign with Cable. So Cable is up first. I put out a poll and it was voted on that I will be doing a Cable Justice campaign run. So that's pretty exciting. I'm excited for Cable. We're going to start out. We're going to build the deck and then we're going to take it through. I'm hoping to get through 2, maybe 3 scenarios today. It kind of all depends on where we land, but I'm excited. I've had a lot of fun with Cable. Also we're running through a standard campaign to start. After we run through the standard campaign, we're gonna come back and then run through it with Domino on expert. But I wanted to run through it on a standard just to kind of get an idea of what standard looks like, because in the review that I'll publish, I'm going to talk a little bit about standard, a little bit about expert, and then I also wanted to just kind of get a feel for the campaign and get an understanding of the mechanisms before we dived in and ran it on expert. So that's why we're doing standard. But let's build the deck first. Cable Injustice works really well because Cable wants to be messing with a hype train. Oh my goodness, so many things just happened. Maddie, thank you so very much. 17 months. How crazy. Thank you so very much for the subscribe. You're incredible. I cannot believe that it's been 17 months. That's awesome. So with the new heroes, will this be an easy campaign or is it going to be a campaign? I think that it will be an easier campaign. That's kind of what I have felt out, is that I think it's a little bit easier. And I don't think that's necessarily the hero. I think Domino is the top tier hero. I don't know about Cable. I don't know if Cable is one of those top tier heroes. Robo Retro, thank you so very much for the subscription with Amazon Prime. You're a wonderful person. Thank you so very much. Good start to the stream. Let's go. Alrighty, so Cable Justice, Cable can include any side schemes from any aspect. And so we currently have 5 side schemes outside of Hero Kit specific side schemes, and Cable can have all of them. And we will be running with all of them. I think 5 is a good number for Cable, maybe a little bit less, maybe 1 or 2 more in like a multiplayer game, but I'm happy with the 5. So we're gonna run with all 5 of those. Justice pairs really well with Cable because it has so much stuff to do with clearing side schemes. So that's awesome. You're already thinking one way or another because I know you're thinking it. I did run a one way or another in the Justice Cable Hero Spotlight, and it's absurd. It's absurd. We may try it. We may try it. Robo Retro, I found your channel while watching Lord of the Rings LCG playthroughs you have on YouTube. Awesome. Just got into the game yourself and I found your videos really fun to watch. I'm so happy. I love Lord of the Rings. It is such a good game. Good. I'm so glad. I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's awesome. Where are you starting? Or like, what are you playing through right now? And then we're going to talk about Justice cards. Actually, we're going to talk about side schemes. So we have the side schemes. We have Call for Backup, Lock and Load, Establish Perimeter, Superpower Training, and Build Support. We're gonna roll with these. And then I was putting away cards, and I was like, I'm gonna use a lot of these cards, so I might as well just keep them out. Professor X works really well. The 3 Thwart, the Block, and the Confuse helps great. Now, Nathan doesn't have any abilities printed on his alter ego side, but he does have a couple of really good alter ego supports. So we will be wanting to roll down. Also, just then to not need to take some of these attacks. But Professor X helps with that. X Gene is a excellent resource generator, especially because Cable's events are really powerful. So we do want to be using X Gene to help pay for some of those. Helicarrier is interesting. So I had Helicarrier. Actually, I was using Quinn Carrier. Yeah. Quinn Carrier. Yeah. Because you can sneak it in with build support. But what I was finding is that I want to get Grey Malkin into play. Grey Malkin, I think, is just an absurdly powerful card. And so I want to, if I can, build support Grey Malkin. But what I was finding myself is that I was locking myself into pulling Quinn Carrier with build support, and then lengthening the time I wasn't spending with Grey Malkin on the table, because that was the only way I could play Quinn Carrier. And so I think swapping that out for Helicarrier makes a lot of sense, because then you can hit build support with Helicarrier, and if you don't, you can just play it. So you bought the core box set in the Mirkwood campaign expansion. So far I'm using the decks out of the box and having a blast with your friends. Nice. Just got Agmar Awakened campaign a couple days ago and that new Heroes mentioned, so looking forward to playing it soon. Nice. Yeah, I just started the Agmar Awakened cycle, and it has been fantastic. It is such a good campaign. So far I've only done 3. Wait, if you're running Web Warrior deck, can you use build support to get Quinn Carrier in? Yeah. Quinn Carrier has a restriction. I'll pull it out. Quinn Carrier has a restriction to say play only if your identity has the Avenger trait. So build support says that when defeated, each player may search their deck and discard pile for supports with a cost of 3 or less and put it into play. So you get around any play requirements. That means that you can also do Web of Life and Destiny. You can do so many different things with it. The other interesting one that I've seen is Nowhere. I think Journeyman was talking about Nowhere. You can sneak that in and then increase your ally slot and then run a Guardian tribal build without actually being a Guardian. I need to get Spider Heroes back on the table. Yeah, it'll be sick. Also, I brought 4 decks. The Dwarf Elf. Oh, nice. Sweet. How are they? I've actually not played any of the decks. Do you have a favorite one of those? The Elf deck. I love elves. I love dwarfs. I haven't really played much of the Gondor or Rohan archetype, but I played dwarves and elves and really enjoyed them. I'm a huge elf fan, so I've been playing a lot of elf. Nice. And those are all Sylvan elves, right? I think it's Galadriel, Celeborn, and somebody else. I don't actually know who the 3rd hero in that deck would be. Haldir. I don't know who that is. Or I don't know who that is in the terms of Lord of the Rings LCG. Nice. Very cool. We've got 3 doubles. Elrond is... Oh, I didn't realize that they came with a spare hero. Elrond is phenomenal. Elrond is a huge, incredible, powerful hero. That's awesome. We got the doubles. We got 2, 5, 2. That's 10. We got 11. We also have Scimitar. So Scimitar, I think, is interesting. After you play another Psionic card, exhaust Scimitar to deal 2 damage to an enemy. And then we have Plasma Rifle as their 2nd restricted weapon. What I'm thinking about doing is... okay, so I guess I'm having a little hard time here, because you can only have 2 restricted weapons on the table at a time, right? Scimitar helps with the damage, which I think Nathan needs help with. So Scimitar helps with the damage. Anytime you play a Psionic card, you can deal 2 damage. And he has a lot of Psionic cards in his kit. Is that going to be better than a Sonic Rifle? I don't know. I may run Sonic Rifle here, because you can use Lock and Load to grab Sonic Rifle. Sonic Rifle or Scimitar? Sonic Rifle is so good. I think what we'll do is we will probably run Side Holster and do both. Yeah. Yes, absolutely, the Romeo. That's exactly what we're going to do. I like it. Good call. We'll run Side Holster and then we'll run Sonic Rifle. Good call. Or embrace the Side Holster. Myself am a fan of the faction of Elf. I need to pull them out of the shelf. Nice. I like it. I like it. Alrighty, so that's gonna put us at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 14 cards. Let's go ahead and grab some of the other toys that... Also, D20, I just saw that you said Side Holster too. You're first. Sorry. Jessica Jones is awesome for Cable because she gets +1 thwart for every single scheme in play. Or side scheme in play, I should say. And Cable puts side schemes into play. So Jessica Jones is a monster when it comes to thwarting. Um, I feel bad because I see you're streaming a Marvel game, but all I want to do is talk about Lord of the Rings. Dude, I will talk about Lord of the Rings all the time. Let's go. Have you played Marvel Champions? It's not as in depth as Lord of the Rings from like a deck building perspective, but it's a very solid game. We're gonna grab blindfold. Being able to take a look at some of those top cards is gonna be really key. We're gonna grab skilled investigator. Every time we defeat a side scheme, card draw. I've heard of it, but know nothing about it. Nice. It's a fantastic game. It's a fantastic game. This is what got me into the LCGs. Now I like Lord of the Rings better. Just playing it more and kind of getting deeper into it. I think Lord of the Rings is a better game for me. Not necessarily a better game, but I enjoy it more. Um, but Champions got me into it, and so I play a lot of Champions too. Hey, BB, how's it going? I'm doing well. I am excited to play. Alrighty, so let's just run one way or another. Let's just do it. We're only gonna run 2 copies of one way or another. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We're gonna run Turn the Tide. We're on 2x Turn the Tide. I like Turn the Tide here because it's really efficient damage at 0 for 3, but because we're going to be taking out a lot of side schemes, I like the damage that it's going to give us. Do you enjoy fantasy as a setting more like Lord of the Rings, or is actual? When I say that I enjoy Lord of the Rings more, what I was saying with my previous statement is that I enjoy the mechanics of the game more, but on both accounts. But I don't. When I was answering that question, I tried not to lean into theme too much to support my favorite, just because I like to approach them from a gameplay perspective. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Got 4 more cards left. It's gonna be hard not to play Clear the Area. Overwatch is really good. Ugh. Clear the Area. We could also go heroic into wish, and no, we're already gonna have a 3 thwart. I think we're gonna be fine with the 3 thwart. Oh, we also have take out the guards. We're gonna grab take out the guards. I think we'll run that. I don't think that there's any limitations on not being able or on changing your deck between. I took out take out the guards. I didn't love it. It's 4 thwarts for to take out a non-elite minion. Now we may get more non-elite minions that are better out. Yeah, take out the guards is meh. It's not great. It's a 0 cost, which is I guess better. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I can dig a bit of fantasy. Just make sure it isn't the final one. Final Fantasy, nice. Um, Alrighty, so I think we probably want to go with some allies. We got Jessica, got X. We're probably going to want to go with a couple more allies. Let's grab Nick. Nick is always good to sneak in there, especially with like a call for backup. Let's also take a look at some of these. The nice thing is that once we have our Afghanistan and Grey Malkin engine up and running, we can do a bit of defending, and so that is nice. But I also would like to try and find some cheaper allies so that we can have a couple of chumps. Let's go arrows. Like arrows here. 2 thwarts is nice. Psionic allies are good since you have Scimitar, Professor X, Blindfold, Marvel Girl. Marvel Girl. I did not realize that Marvel Girl was psionic. That's really cool. Especially if you're running that psionic resource, the power of the mind. Oh, Robo, do you have any tips for deck building? I want to deconstruct the decks, but I don't know where to start. I was thinking of Elrond Glorfindel for healing and general grade heroes, and Legolas for a bit of killing power and the ability to help travel to locations. Uh, Deck building is so crazy. I have a video on how to deck build for Lord of the Rings, where I go through live, and on some of the newer videos, I've been deck building on stream. I don't know if you've seen those, but like there's so many ways to approach deck building in that game, and so I've tried to encapsulate a lot of my thoughts. It's kind of tough to do so sometimes. Uh, Maddie, is that how you actually spell that? It's so darn 90s. Which one? Oh, Psionic. Marvel Girl. When Marvel Girl attacks a minion, remove X threat from the main scheme where X is that minion's printed scheme. Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna take Marvel Girl. We may actually run her over Eros. That's gonna put us. I mean, we're over 40 by 2. We're at 42. Scimitar. Oh yeah, Scimitar is spelled interestingly. I don't love take out the guards. We're gonna not run take out the guards right now. We're gonna take out the guards. We could, let's count up our psionic cards to see if Power of the Mind works. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, no, that doesn't count. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we would be there where we could use Power of the Mind. Let's grab it. We'll grab 2 copies of that, and we may end up not running with it, but let's grab it. The horse you can give Glorfindel begins with Asfaleth. Use it as a lot. What set is that from? I'm dying to get your hands from it. Asfaleth. I do not know. Jason, if you're still on, do you know where Asfaleth comes from? I'm really bad at remembering what the sets are that they come from. I think it was the Khazad-dûm cycle, because that's where I think that's where Glorfindel came from. No, I don't remember. I'm surprised he's not in the elf deck though. That's interesting. Foundations of Stone. Hey, B. Holland, thank you. Thank you so very much. 2, 4, 6, 8. Which is the Khazad-dûm cycle, right? I think so. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. 16, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8. Alrighty, so we could go with Overwatch. I think Overwatch is pretty good. It's also just like hard to run too many cards. Although 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 2, 4, 5. We're at 43 cards. We could go up to 45 with Overwatch. I don't love it. I don't love going above that too much. Let's try it without Overwatch, and let's see where our thwarting power lies. And if we find that we are lacking in thwart, we can mess with it and run Overwatch. But I think right now we'll try to keep it to 43. 5 resource cards. A lot of stuff that Power of the Mind can play on. I'm happy with it. Sweet. It's the 5th into the Khazad-dûm cycle. Alrighty, sweet. Nice. Actually, wait, I need that. That was a good cycle. That was a really good cycle. I don't think they're necessarily high on the list to reprint, but maybe you can help. Maybe you can try and find it. Just Foundations of Stone, because that was also a really good scenario. That's the one that kind of you split up into multiple groups and you like get separated. It's pretty cool. One thing I do need understanding is, should I wait for your sets to be repackaged before buying them? I would say if you can find the sets as they are, I would go ahead and buy them now because there's not any guarantee that they're ever going to get repackaged, but also there really aren't any changes. There's a couple campaign cards that come in them, but outside of that, it's pretty much the same. Alrighty. So here we are. Scenario 1, Morlock Siege. Gray Malkin, Earth Orbit. Hey Cable. Oh, it's Deadpool. Nice. Hey Cable, you got this 200-inch screen but only one channel? If you're bored, Wade, you could take a walk outside. Nice, got him. Put it on screen, Professor. Incoming emergency signal. Hope, what is it? Someone's attacking the Morlock tunnels. I'm trying to fend them off, but I need backup. We're on our way. Now that's what I call entertainment. Take cover until we arrive. Don't try and be a hero. I know the drill, Dad. I had a good teacher. Professor, have the team meet us at the Morlock tunnels. Body slide by 3. Scenario 1, the Morlock Siege. The Morlocks, a group of shunned mutants living in exile in forgotten tunnels beneath New York City, are under siege by the mutant mercenary group known as the Marauders. Hope Summers, member of the X-Men and adopted daughter Cable, was checking on the Morlocks in the wake of recent Sentinel attacks when the Marauders came knocking. You leap into action to help Hope fend off the Marauders to save the Morlocks. Now, do you think that the recent Sentinel attacks were from the last expansion? Was that like the Project Wide Awake scenario? Okay, so we have multiple villains here. We have let's do our setup, campaign setup, then our player setup is how the new 1.5 rules roll. And so let's go ahead and do our normal setup. Knock knock. Put the routed environment into play. Set hide treachery in each Morlock ally aside. I set the Morlocks outside, but I forgot to pull hide out again because there we go. Hide is out. Shuffle the villains together without looking to create the villain deck, and then the top villain is the one in play. So we're just going to shuffle this, and we've got this guy. Harpoon! Harpoon has 0 scheme. That's pretty nice. When Harpoon attacks, you are an ally you control. You either can take 2 indirect damage, or give Harpoon 1 additional face-down boost card for this attack. We're going to flip over. This thwarts out at 6, starts with 1, goes up by 1, and then after adding a threat counter, we're going to we're going to add a knock counter. If there are ever 3 knock counters, then we win the game. And if there's a way that we could defeat 3 villains before our 3rd turn, we also win the game. That would be impressive. I don't think we could do that. Routed over here says, and we're playing standard, so this is the standard side. Cards under here are not in play. Force response. After the villain phase is defeated, put it under here. Discard each minion that shares a title with the top villain of the villain deck. The villain activates against each player in player order. So on the expert side, they get retaliate for however many villains are underrouted, but here we're just going to knock 3 of them out. Now we go to campaign. Each player records their identity in the campaign log. I write down Cable. Players as a group choose 1 player side scheme listed in the campaign log and do the following. We put the player side scheme into play, mark the player side scheme and the encounter card, take the encounter card in the campaign log in the same row chosen as player side scheme, and shuffle into the encounter deck. B. Holland. I've run this campaign solo twice and absolutely love it. Once with Domino Leadership and once with Cable, Web of Life, and Destiny Warrior deck. Nice. Yeah. Was it you that commented on the and was shared the Cable, Web of Life, and Destiny deck? Because that's really cool. That's really, really cool. I like it a lot. Alrighty. So we get to choose one of these side schemes, which is going to give us a benefit whenever we thwart it down. So we have assembled the team. So whenever we flip this, it enters play with 1 assembly counter, and these start in play after we have taken them out. Action, remove 1 assembly counter here. Each player may search their deck and discard problem for an ally with a printed cost of 3 or less and put it into play. Any player can do this. We got establish safe house, which gives us the safe house. Where did it go? And then, so this is, we can choose to either heal 2 from our identity or draw a card in alter ego. We got gear up. This is, we get a pouch, which is a double wild. I don't think I necessarily need to go with this one. However, this is going to be number 1 for Domino. Yep, that was you. Nice, nice. Yeah, yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. I love the interactions that this game can like bring out. It's so cool. We got mission prep. Mission prep is we can remove a prep counter here. Each player searches their deck and discard battle for 1 upgrade with a printed cost of 2 or less and put it into play. That could be kind of interesting. That could be scimitar. That could be a lot of things, honestly. Um, Great Malkin's a support, isn't it? Yeah, Great Malkin's a support. The other thing is that I kind of like these that allow us to pull stuff from our deck just to thin it out. Do you ever play community games? What do you mean by community games? Are you talking about games like where, like competitive community games? I've been playing Lorcana a little bit. Um, Less so now that this expansion is out. Practice maneuvers. Play each reduce the cost of each event with a printed cost of 3 or less by 1. Don't love that one. And then each hero gets +1 defense and retaliate 1. I think. I kind of like the. Let's do the upgrade one. Mission prep. So mission prep comes in, and then we check here. Encounter card is Scrambler. We need to shuffle Scrambler in there. Scrambler surges, discard an upgrade you control. Ew. That's mean. Like, so you're playing this solo, but I mean, do you ever... Oh, yeah. So, like, tomorrow, D20 and I are doing a stream together. I've done a couple... I've done 1 or 2 Lord of the Rings streams, but I haven't ever done much of that. Most of my streams are done with solo, but most of my multiplayer game streams are done on Wednesday evenings typically. And so, yeah. Let's see if there's anything else that we need. Nope. So we'll go into player setup. It's happening. Oh, it's happening. How exciting. Oops. These are all upside down. Oh well. As long as they're all upside down, I can flip them later. Alrighty, so we got mission prep out there. I think mission prep is going to be nice to hit earlier. I still think that the best strategy with Cable is taking a look at your opening hand, and if you can clear TVP on turn 1, that's pretty good. But if not, then I think even with these mission preps, like, it may be nice to go for like a call for backup, and you can grab something else that will help you clear mission prep early. I think it all depends on what you can draw. If you can clear 2, I think, you know, your events start getting really, really efficient. So yeah, lock and load I think is going to be pretty solid for us here because we have those 3 weapons. We can pull 2 of those with mission prep, and so if we can, I would like to pull the sonic rifle with lock and load, just because we're not able to pull it here. It also may make a heroic intuition easier to run, because if we pull heroic intuition with this turn 1, we can clear any 3 player side scheme. That's interesting. I kind of maybe want to actually run heroic intuition. Maybe not this game, but after. We got clear the area. That's enough to clear mission prep, so that's cool. Telekinetic blast, we don't really need that. Temporal leap, we don't need that. We got superpower training, we'll mulligan that. We got turn the tide, and we got arrows. Hey, how's it going? I don't think we need the damage right now. Oh yeah, let's set up our health. I forgot to turn the counters on. Alrighty, so I am at 12, and Harpoon starts at only 10 health. Let's smash. So we definitely don't need Turn the Tide here, because I don't necessarily want to pull these villains right now. The other option would be to just like set up and build and build and build so that we can have a telekinetic attack, just take out all the villains. They do activate when they come out, so that's a little annoying. Let's keep arrows. We got X, much better than arrows. Grey Malkin is huge. Oh, and a strength to play it. Ah, I love this game. And a Turn the Tide. Sweet. Okay, so we're going to go throw a player side scheme into play. Now we're not going to go TVP here. We could go something higher than a two thwart because we have X. We could also use Call for Backup to sneak in Professor X. We don't need Call for Backup. Let's go Lock and Load here. And I think we'll pull we actually may pull Scimitar. No, we can pull Scimitar with Mission Prep. We'll go Lock and Load. We'll put that into play. We have Lock and Load in play. That will probably pull the Sonic Rifle, and then we can clear Mission Prep, which will get us the Scimitar. Yeah, I like that plan. Alrighty. So we've done all of our setup. It is time to start. We're going to use a strength to play Grey Malkin. Grey Malkin can generate a lightning resource, and after a side scheme is defeated, we can ready Grey Malkin. We're going to flip up to cable side. We're going to go ahead and thwart Lock and Load. I'm going to put this here. We're going to keep a counter over here for number of side schemes in the victory display. So when defeated, each player may search. Oh, wait, hold on. Before we do that, I want to use Grey Malkin. Sorry. Let's figure out what we're doing with Grey Malkin first. We're actually going to thwart 2 off of Mission Prep. Grey Malkin will play Clear the Area on Mission Prep. When defeated, flip this card and put Mission Prepped into play. Mission Prepped enters play with 1 prep counter on it. And then we can exhaust this, and each player may search their deck and discard pile for 1 upgrade with a printed cost of 2 or less and put it into play. So we'll go ahead and do that. Remove the counter. I'm going to go find an upgrade with a cost 2 or less and put it into play. Yeah, I think Plasma Rifle is better later game. Scimitar is nice, consistent damage. So we'll go ahead and throw Scimitar into play. We haven't played any of our Psionic cards yet, so here we are. Hey, Brant. Robo Wednesday, he's playing with D20. Yeah. Yeah, tomorrow, because today is Tuesday, at 8 p.m. Alrighty. A couple of things happen now. Grey Malkin gets ready because we defeated a side scheme. Cable gets ready because he defeated a side scheme. We cleared the last. We get to draw a card with Clear the Area, which is a energy. Oh my goodness. Love it. Let's go Grey Malkin energy to play Professor X. When Professor X enters play, we have a couple of options. We're going to choose my favorite and confuse the villain. X has a 3 thwart. We're going to thwart down Lock and Load. That's going to pull over here. And we're going to go find Sonic Rifle and put Sonic Rifle into play. We can exhaust Sonic Rifle, remove 1 of the 2 charge counters that it comes in with to confuse an enemy, or we can deal 3 damage to that enemy if they are already confused. Grey Malkin gets ready because a side scheme was defeated. Brent, did you include any of the 3 threat and up events like for Justice, or are you focused on getting Technovirus? I'm not focused on Technovirus turn 1. I don't. Yes, I do have a Discord server. Cool, nice. I'm not going TVP turn 1. I have found that I think it's, I don't know. I think you can, and I think Justice has the best options of going for TVP turn 1, but I don't love it. I don't love TVP turn 1. I think I'd rather get built out and then let my stats work. And then if the obligation player pulls TVP, we got it. But I also like, I'm not a huge fan of that obligation. It's so tough. We're gonna have Gray Malkin turn the tide to play Eros. Eros will go ahead and thwart here. And then Cable. Oh, Scimitar will trigger when I play Professor X because he's psionic. Cable will attack for 2, down to 6. Don't forget the Scimitar when you... B. Holland, you're awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I did it consistently in leadership using 2 copies to push ahead. Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah. The obligation just... I don't know, it dissuades me a lot. I think that's more my playstyle than it is like strategic. But I don't want to work for it and then get it taken away immediately. You think regardless of obligation, it's still worth TVP turn 1? Even though like here I would not have been able to clear it. Right? Like this allowed me to get lock and load. This allowed me to get my Scimitar. It also allowed me to get Eros and Professor X onto the table. Sonic, right? Like, I think TVP turn 1, much less of this happens because we can't thwart it with any of our allies. We would still get probably our Scimitar, but like Cable wouldn't have readied. Gray Malcolm would have only readied once. Hey, hydrate. Let's go. Cheers. I got like this. I went back to the zero sugar cherry Dr. Pepper. It's phenomenal. The professor is good use to pull it also though. Oh yeah, the professor. Professor's a great support. I really like the professor. We're gonna roll up to body slide, side holster, blindfold. X gene looks like we're gonna body slide downstairs and a mind scan 2, 4, 5. Nice. We got 1 here. Harpoon is going to attack. We can choose to either take 2 indirect damage or give him another boost card for this attack. We're going to give him another boost card and let Professor X step in. So he's attacking for 2, 3, 4. That's going to take out X. Then our encounter card is Inhibitor Collar. Attached to your identity. Treat your identity's text box as if it was blank. Choose to either exhaust a character you control or take 3 damage. Discard this card. Any player can do this. So we'll exhaust Eros because we want him to block anyways to discard that card. We will play side holster. We will hit him for 2. We will flip down to Nathan Summers. Gray Malkin. Mind Scan and Body Slide. We'll play Blindfold. Actually, before, we're going to Scimitar. Hit him for 2. Then we're going to flip down. Blindfold comes in. Look at the top 5 cards of the deck. Keep them in order. 2, 3, 4, 5. Discard 1 of those and put the rest back in the same order. So we have this would be our encounter card, Territorial Control, Assault. So we can basic thwart this with our attack instead of our thwart stats, so that's cool. Place 1 additional threat here for each villain under routed. It comes in with 4. I like this as our encounter card. So, oh wait, I get to discard some. Because he's confused, it'll be encounter. This will be boost. This activation is an attack against overkill. Don't love that. Arc Light would be a... We're going to toss Arc Light. So it'll be... We'll have an advance as our boost card, or as our encounter card next turn. But he has a 0 scheme, so we can just hang out and wait. I think it's a different consideration in multiplayer too. Like if I'm someone playing Venom or Gamora, I'll go for lock and load. Yeah. So I think in multiplayer, it's never TVP. Like 3+ players, there's just so much benefit that you can get from like any of them, lock and load, build support, any of them, that I think it's hard to take the +1 stats over the other stuff. The other thing that I could see is that if you're running a I don't need to thwart with her. If you're running a build that requires you to have the psionic trait, now that could, I would run TVP turn 1 at that point. But it's interesting. It's an interesting discussion, and I'm really happy that like it's not a clear-cut answer. I'm on team. I'd rather build and then clear TVP, rather than try and get TVP turn 1 and clear it. We're gonna hang on to X Gene. We're going to not thwart with blindfold. We're gonna stand up. So we got X Gene. Call for backup. That's nice. The power of the mind. Mind scan. Beautiful. Telekinetic blast. 2, 4, 5. Mind scan again. Let's go. All right, we're gonna add 1 here. We're gonna add a knock counter. Harpoon will scheme, but he's confused. I assume Harpoon's a he. Yeah, he. And then territorial control comes out. It comes out with 4 and a crisis, meaning that we cannot thwart the main scheme. We're all in on making sure that this this territorial control goes away before we care about protecting marauders, apparently. Alrighty. While we're down here, Gray Malkin will drop a X Gene. We will flip up to Cable. Blindfold will take 2 off territorial control. Cable will take 2 off of territorial control. That crisis goes away. We get to ready, and Gray Malkin gets to ready. Let's go ahead and use Gray Malkin to play Call for backup. That comes in with 3, and then whenever we thwart it down, we get to search our deck and discard power for an ally and put it into play, which is pretty cool. We'll go Power of the Mind for Mind Scan. That's going to remove 3 plus 1 for every one in the victory display, so 4 total. We'll clear Call for backup. Gray Malkin gets to ready. I think we're going to go pick... I think we're going to pick Nick here. Let's just see if we can build that tempo a little bit faster. Nick, we're going to choose to draw some cards. That gives us a block for Nick, but also it's going to allow us to maybe build a little bit more. So we got 1. We got Professor, which is nice. Skilled Investigator. Wish I would have drawn that a second earlier. Skilled Investigator. We'll go Skilled Investigator onto the table. We may go one way or another here. This could be... I mean, this is where we start getting super greedy, but I kind of like it. But yeah, let's one way or another here. So we get to search the deck for a side scheme. Put it into play. We're going to choose Marauder and Ain't Easy and draw 3 cards. This comes in with 3 plus 1 for every villain under routed. We got none, so it's just going to be 3. And we get to draw 3 cards. We got Plasma Rifle. We got Askeni-san. And build supports. Oh my goodness, you all are tempting me. I love it. Also, Scimitar. No, we're not going to trigger Scimitar. We honestly probably could, and we'd be fine. We would absolutely be fine if we pushed this right now. No, it's more fun to not. Great Malkin and X Gene will play Mind Scan, which will clear Marauder and Ain't Easy. Ready's Great Malkin. Skilled Investigator will trigger to draw a card into Precognition. What is build support? Build support, yeah, okay. Precognition, or actually, Gray Malkin will play build support. Okay, when Cable can like hit that tempo, it's a little dumb. Oh, geez. We'll go Cable and Nick to clear build support. Great Malkin readies. We are going to go find, I think, Helicarrier and put Helicarrier into play. And the threat on the main doesn't matter because we are going to progress from knock counters regardless. So I think we don't really care about that. Alrighty. We got Helicarrier and Grey Malkin to play this plasma rifle, which is going to be on our side holster. We can exhaust plasma rifle, spend a energy resource to deal 1 damage for every single scheme in the victory display, up to 4. We currently have 3. Good turn you got going here. Oh yeah, it just keeps going. It doesn't stop. I love it. We're gonna use a precognition to play a professor, and then we're gonna use a telekinetic blast to play Candy Sun, however you pronounce it. And here we are. Alrighty, we'll stand up. Cable's got telekinetic force field, established perimeter, TVP, forced amnesia, and a clear the area. We've got 1. We're going to place a knock counter, which will automatically progress us. Let's go ahead and read what we got. Mutant Massacre. When revealed, each player puts 1 set-aside Morlock ally into play under their control, or 2 set-aside if it's a single-player game. Let's go find our Morlock allies. We got 2. Morlock allies are victory -1. They do not count against your ally limit. Card abilities cannot remove this ally from play. When an enemy attacks you, it attacks a Morlock you control rather than you instead. Shuffle High Treachery into the encounter deck. If the previous stage was advanced by knock counters, give each Morlock ally a tough status card. One of my favorite sentences, because they're going to be the target of attacks, and so now the Morlocks, we can let an attack go through. Okay, so this comes in. We can exhaust a Morlock ally to shuffle Hide from the encounter deck discard pile into the encounter deck. And then if there are 3 villains under routed, we win the game. Let's go ahead and get our ready. This is after 3 turns. That's crazy. I think, and this is why I'm waiting and doing more games before I do like my review. Because if I talked about Cable after only my games with Claw, I don't think I would have a good idea of how quickly he can build, just because of how much stuff Claw can throw at you. Alrighty, now Harpoon is going to attack. We're going to choose to give him +1 boost card. And have Nick block. It's going to be 1. If you control a Morlock ally, choose to either deal 1 damage to it or spend 1 resource of any type. We'll go ahead and spend a resource on Grey Malkin. And that's going to knock Nick out. Encounter card. The Senator supports Hinder 1. So this comes in with 4. When defeated, the first player discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an attachment is discarded and reveals that card. So that's going to be 4. And an Amplify, meaning that every boost card is going to have +1 on it. Which means that I don't want to give Harpoon multiple boost cards. Yikes. Okay, so how many mind scans have we seen? We got 1, 2, 3. We've seen all the mind scans. I was hoping we could not. Let's go ahead and use a Helicarrier. Actually, no. First off, let's take out the Senator support. Okay, so let's go Cable to thwart 2. Helicarrier will play Clear the Area on the Senator support, because if we push Harpoon, any attachments on Harpoon do not carry over to the next villain because they're differently named. So Clear the Area will clear here. When defeated, we'll discard cards until we get an attachment. There goes hide, so we'll shuffle that back in with our action. Oh, and there goes our obligation. That's nice. And heavy armament. Attached to the enemy with the highest attack. Attached enemy gains retaliate 2. After you attack the attached enemy, spend 2 resources of the same type to discard this card. Senator support pops over there. We get to ready. Grey Malkin ready. Skilled investigator triggers. We get to draw into one way or another. How very dangerous of us. Hey Lucas, how's it going? Is this the first scenario of the new campaign? It is. Yes, we are running through a campaign right now. And it is the first scenario. We're going to go ahead and shuffle our Exhaust and Morlock to shuffle Hide back into the encounter deck. Hide gives Morlocks a tough status card. Draw from clear the area. Thank you so very much, B. Holland. Oh, it's a double. Excellent. Excellent. Alrighty. Oh my goodness. Ah ha 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 ha. I feel so powerful. We probably should have thrown Forced Amnesia out there first, but here we are. Let's go Genius for a telekinetic field. That's going to be a Sonic card for Scimitar, which is going to push Harpoon and get rid of that heavy armament card. So Harpoon comes here. We're going to just put it off to the side, and we'll use counters just to kind of keep it a little bit cleaner. And now we can roll a dice. The song from Spirit just came on in my headphones, and I am here for it. I'm using like the Spotify DJ thing, and sometimes the most random epic songs come on, and it's Here I Am from Spirit. Let's go. This is nostalgia. Okay, we got Greycrow. Greycrow's got to go. He's got to go. So this is on side A. So he's a 1/1. When Greycrow attacks you or an ally you control, we can discard the highest cost card you control, or he gets plus attack for this attack where X is the printed cost of the highest cost card you control. Don't love that. And then he immediately activates. So we're going to give him +3. Blindfold's also a 3. And we're going to let it run into this Morlock here. So 3 + 0. There goes an advance. The tough is gone. I think he's the net. Especially on side B. Especially on side B. Because instead of the highest cost, it's each card with the highest cost. And it is not fun. He is mean. He comes in with 9 hit points. At least he's a little bit less beefy. But, oh my gosh, he is not fun. But now we have a Morlock without a tough status card. So if we do hit hide, we're good. Honestly, probably what I should have done, retroactive, what I should have done, is like attacked with this Morlock, or done something with that Morlock to lose the tough, just in case we drew hide as that boost card, or I guess shuffled hide in later. Whatever. Do we play one way or another here? I feel like that. I feel like that's a little dangerous. Go Grey Malkin for establish perimeter. We'll thwart established perimeter. Grey Malkin readies. We get a tough status card. We will Sonic Rifle to confuse Greycrow. Grey Malkin will play Forced Amnesia. So after a side scheme is defeated, add Forced Amnesia and that side scheme to the victory display. So that's pretty nice. I guess we'll put Technovirus Purge out there. Why not, right? I'm thinking about rolling down. I'm honestly thinking about rolling down. I think we're pretty safe. Greycrow is confused. If we draw an advance on the 2 boost cards that are the 2 encounter cards that we get, it is what it is, and we live with that. We're gonna flip down. We'll have Professor draw a card, which is Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is not a huge benefit for us here because she can't thwart TVP. So we're gonna toss We're gonna hang on to one way or another. No, we're not. We will. It's too one way or another is too good. We're gonna stand up. Oh, I should have. I didn't think about. I have my gun too. There we are. Okay. Did Nathan not do anything? No, he was exhausted because he thwarted that side scheme. We got Power of the Mind, Marvel Girl, Encounter card. Marvel Girl is psionic, which is awesome. Which is so cool. Okay, so I was harsh on the Power of the Mind cards. I am less harsh on them. When they were first announced, I was not. I didn't think that they would work. I think they work significantly better than I thought they would be. Oh yeah, superpower training's still in there. Mind scan, beautiful. That clears TVP. And energy, nice. We're gonna add one. Grey Crow is gonna scheme, but he's confused. Encounter card is an assault, which surges. And to seek the weak, this card gains surge. Into Chimera Patrol. When Chimera attacks you or an ally you control, we can spend a mental resource, or she gets +2 for the attack. And we got Shadows of the Past. This can change the game significantly because Nathan has a nasty Shadows encounter. So Strife comes in, he is villainous. Forced interrupt. When a player plays a psionic event, cancel the effects of that event and deal 1 damage to Strife. And then we got Back to the Future. The Cable player cannot remove threat from schemes other than Back to the Future. Other players cannot remove threat from Back to the Future. The Cable player cannot damage enemies not engaged with them. Other players cannot damage minions engaged with the game. I 100% agree with you. One of the nastiest Nemesis sets in the game. Totally agree. Especially now because we have a Mind Scan 2, 4, 5. If we draw Mind Scan, it will lose us the game. So I don't want to thwart TVP. Because if I leave this at 4, this adds 6, 1. So we always have to, until we see Mind Scan, we always have to keep the main at 0 and not put anything else in here, or else it's an insta-lose from Mind Scan. Telekinetic Blast is kind of the same, except we have a tough status card. We have ways. We'll preserve this tough because this, when revealed, will deal 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage to us. Missing Jessica Jones now. Yeah, there you go. That's on me. Okay, so those get shuffled in. Alrighty then. Well, that's cool. That's fun. That's fun. That's fun. Alrighty. Okay. Cool. Ouch. On our turn, we'll Professor to draw a card. And we got another double. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to flip up to hero form. We will Plasma Rifle, Grey Malkin, Strife. We will use a Power of the Mind and a One Way or Another to play Marvel Girl. Scimitar will take Strife out. Skilled Investigator should not be exhausted. We've got Helicarrier and X-Gene will play Mind Scan to clear Back to the Future. Actually, Cable is going to attack Chimera first. Then we're going to clear Back to the Future. Cable gets to ready. Skilled Investigator gets to draw us a card until one way or another. How very dangerous. When Marvel Girl attacks a minion, remove X threat from the main scheme where X is the printed. Okay, so I guess we'll attack here for 1. And then we'll remove 1. And then Cable will finish Chimera off. Okay, we're not thwarting this until we see Mind Scan come out of the discard pile. Yeah, yeah, right, Darth Raven. This is looking good for us. Strife, hold my beer. Yeah, jeez, ain't that the truth? And then we really can't do anything with our cards. I guess we could use Sonic Rifle here. I don't. As long as we're not drawing 2 encounter cards, we should be fine. We're going to keep Blindfold and Arrows as blockers. We also have a telekinetic force field here, so that is good. But I mean, like at this point, I think 2 of the telekinetic attacks wins us the game, which actually, let's play one way or another. See if we can just grab one of these. So we got In the Midst of Chaos. This comes in with 4 threat. Also, Gray Malkin never readied from the clear of that side scheme. And we're going to get to draw 4. Telekinetic Blast, 2. Oh, wait, 2, 4, 5. One more. Okay, we're going to play Precognition. So we look at the top 4 cards and we can put the you may discard one of those cards, put the rest back in any order. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we know we're not hitting Mind Scan, so that's good. Okay, so we can go. You may discard one of those. Honestly, I think I won't. Because, okay, so we can go Hide here, because we're about to push Grey Crow. The next one will attack. We'll have Hide, or basically we'll give a tough status card to the Morlock, and then we will run it into a 3 boost. Then we'll have another attack. If you control a Morlock ally, choose to either deal 1 damage or spend a resource. We are flush with resources right now. And then the villain attacks you. We can tank all of those attacks, and we guarantee that we will not hit the Hide or whatever it is. Or Mind Scan. We'll guarantee we won't hit Mind Scan. Gray Malkin, Genius for a Telekinetic Blast. So we deal 10 damage to Grey Crow, which is enough to push him. Then we will re-roll a 6 if we roll it. Chimera. When Chimera attacks you or an ally you control, we can spend a mental resource, or she gets +2 for the attack. She comes in with 11. Chimera is immediately going to attack us. We will let this Morlock soak it because we know what's happening. So we got this Hide, which give 1 Morlock ally a tough status card. We'll give it to that one. Give the villain 1 additional boost card for this activation. The additional boost card is a +3, and we gave her a +2, which will knock the tough here. We'll then exhaust. No, we're not. We're not gonna. I'd rather not shuffle that discard pile. Never mind. So she's at 11. There's no reason to not confuse her right now. I'm okay with having that acceleration icon out. We're gonna toss everything. We're just gonna try and get the mind or the telekinetic blast. Stand up, stand up, stand up. We got strength. Actually, we're gonna toss it because all we need to do is draw the telekinetic blast and we'll be good. Temporal leap, clear the area, turn the tide. Mind scan. That's 4. Nick also will help us with it. Okay. We got 1 here. Chimera is going to attack. We'll give her +2. We'll go ahead and take it. So if you control a Morlock ally, choose to either deal 1 damage to it or spend 1 resource. We will go ahead and just deal a damage to this Morlock. And then this runs into the tough. Then we got Seek the Weak. The villain attacks you. If there's at least 1 villain under routed this attack, it gains overkill. So at this point, we'll choose to spend a clear the area. She has 1 attack. We'll block it with we'll actually defend here for 2, and we're gonna instead give her the +2 attack because I kind of want. No, yeah, we'll defend. Then Askani-san and Grey Malkin will remove 3 threat from in the midst. Because whenever I basic defend, I can defend. So we got that. We're defending here. For 3, 4, 5. That'll knock the tough. And then it is our turn. Yeah, this is nice. We got Helicarrier for clear the area to take this. I guess we'll force amnesia this. There's no reason not to, right? Because then a telekinetic. No, there's an absolute reason not to, because then Mind Scan kills us. I think we win this turn, but still. That readies Cable. We get to draw 2 cards. Mind Scan. Turn the tide. Okay. It'll be Grey Malkin readies. We got Grey Malkin, Mind Scan, and oh wait, actually, hold up. No. We don't even have to rely on this. We'll play 2 Turn the Tides in the response window for 6 damage on Chimera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cable will hit her for 2. 1, 2. And then we got 1, 2, 3. That's game. I'm over here trying to like math this out so that I can draw into the telekinetic blast. I was like, wait, we have damage on the table. Okay, well there's game 1. Yeah. Cable built quick. Hitting Strife was not ideal. I think that's a fair statement. Hitting Strife is never ideal, I guess. But that is the first one. Let's read what we get. Record the title of each villain under routed in the campaign log. Under Marauders defeated, so that's Chimera, Greycrow, and Harpoon. Record the number of Morlock allies still in play. That's 2. The campaign environment is in play. Mark it as earned in the campaign log. So we got mission prepped. Good stuff. Right, gotta dip out. We'll be around tomorrow for. I'm not playing Lord of the Rings tomorrow. I'm sorry. No. Oh. I'm sorry. No, I'm playing more Marvel Champions tomorrow. Sorry. Lord of the Rings will be back next week. But I will see you then. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for the sub. Yeah, sorry. I'll be back with Lord of the Rings next week. On Friday. Next Friday. See ya. Hey, thanks. Nice clean win. Woohoo! Yes. That's what I'm always looking for. Alrighty, so yeah. Good start. Good start. See you soon. See ya. Alrighty, I'm gonna go to be right back. I'm gonna clean up a little bit and we're gonna get scenario 2 underway.